Petroleum Resources kicked off a roadshow last week as it declared open the second oil marginal field licensing round. Now, this will be followed by a 3.5-month of bidding process for the 31 oil fields. Now, for an outlook for the oil and gas space in Nigeria, I am joined by Lukman Agbola, acting head energy at Diamond Bank. Lukman, it's great to have you on the show. Now, tell us a little bit more about this marginal field bid round.
Well, the marginal field bid round is another round of what we call those assets that the multinationals consider to be unattractive or not very economical for them. What the government does from time to time is to take those assets from those multinational companies and reallocate them in a bid round that we are currently going to be seeing. You'll recall that the previous one that was done about 10 years ago was all the assets were given to Nigerian companies. The idea is to build indigenous capacity in that space. And I think what is going to be happening during the next bid round is going to be more of the same thing anyway.
Now, we hear that some of the rules and the guidelines have changed since the last bid round. So talk through some of the key changes.
Well, one of the key changes is that no individual company or an entity would own 100% any marginal field. You need minimum of 4 individuals or companies to come together to own a marginal field at the minimum. Now, the idea is to ensure that we do not face the kind of problems we faced to bring on stream those marginal fields that were awarded 10 years ago. If you recall, most of them were awarded to individual companies that lack either the technical or financial capacity to develop those fields. Now, what you see is that they begin to look for technical partners, financial partners to assist them bring on stream, bring to production those fields. And we've not seen a whole lot of progress or achievement in that regard. So what the DPR is trying to do is to ensure that this time around we are able to achieve considerable leverage and success in developing those marginal fields. I think that's the idea.
Now, I think we've been talking about this decision to go for this second bid round since 2010. So why has it taken so long for the process to kick off?
Well, I think what the DPR is trying to do is to ensure that this time around they get it right. All the lessons that were learned in the first round needs to be taken into account before you go ahead to do the second bid round. I think that's one of the issues. And I think with what they have done, really, I think the proposal they have put on the table for you to qualify is a good one, because one of the things you see is a situation whereby most of those companies that were awarded in the first bid round expect the banks to finance them 100%, and which can never happen. So what DPR is trying to do this time around is to ensure that those companies that are going to be awarded the fields rather, in this second bid round must have some financial capacity to at least put enough equity into those fields to bring them to production. I think that's one of the reasons why we have experienced that delay. It's better to be late than never.
Yeah. Now, what about the privatization of our refineries? When does that intend to kick off?
Well, what we are hearing from the Minister of Petroleum Resources is that that should kick off in January next year. I believe work is going on that also. We just hope that they will stick to their plan and ensure that it kicks off by first quarter of next year. If that happens, it is believed that before the end of next year, the whole process should have been concluded. I believe they are going to take on board the experience and the success of the power sector reform that has just been concluded.
Of course, a major issue there is oil theft. So what's the government doing about that? We hear that they're in talk with some foreign governments to curb oil theft.
Well, the issue of oil theft is a collective responsibility, really, because the government position is this. Look, it is these international companies, these foreign companies that come in to buy this crude. If there is no demand, then there will be no theft. So there is the need for you to work with governments of other countries where you think those crude that are being stolen go to. So it is very, very important that you work with them, because they will assist you to take care of their own side of the issue. But beyond that is the issue of how do you also monitor what is being produced? The issue has come up several times of the need to have metering systems across the production chain, from the production platforms or flow stations to the terminals. So that will enable you to determine effectively what is being produced, what gets to the terminal, and what is lost along the way. As of today, what you hear about is actually estimates, because nobody can really determine what actual quantity that is being stolen on a daily basis is. And I think that is also an important part of, dealing with the issue of oil theft, in addition to what the government is currently doing.